Okay, hi. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, mga ga. I hope that we are all up and running and functioning already for this morning's seminar. So hopefully, nakapamahaw na tano and nakainom na sa tong kape. We have quite a long webinar ahead of us this morning, no? So just in case you haven't changed yet your names, then please do so following the format that you can see on your screen right now, as we will be using this later on for our activity. All right, so without further ado, let us begin our webinar this morning. We have now moved on to component C of your Caed 500 course. And as we mentioned last time, for component C rather, we will now be focusing on the mock interview. Okay, so before, however, we get into answering questions and practicing our skills, skills in answering questions rather, we do have a few topics to discuss before we do that. But keep in mind that at the end of our discussion this morning, we will be having a mock interview, and we will be asking for some volunteers at the end to share with everybody how they think they should answer interview questions. So please please stay until that such time, no? Tapusin niyo talaga yung whole na seminar natin this morning para when it comes to the actual mock interview na for your component C na activity, you will already know what to do. Okay, so I guess with that said, give me one moment, ha? All right, so without further ado, let us begin our seminar for this morning. But before we do that, can we see if active ba tayo ba in the chat box? If you are awake, you've had your breakfast, nangapina mo, please type 1 in the chat box. Tanaw na to, naminaw na ba ni sila? Again, if you are ready for our seminar, okay, we have 32, 38 responses. No, ang uban ng 100, naghagok pa. Okay, there we go. So, okay, I'm so happy to hear or see rather that everyone is ready for our seminar this morning. So let us begin. By the way, if you're having trouble with your internet connection, we are currently being streamed live on our YouTube channel. So that's the University of Mindanao official on YouTube. So if nahihirapan kayo, you can go over to YouTube to watch this webinar. Okay. So before that as well, we have, sorry, this is the wrong PowerPoint. Sorry. Ayan. So for this morning, again, we will be focusing on our non-verbal communication, first of all. Okay, so last time, actually, we were able to All right, sorry. Okay, so now we are on the correct PowerPoint. So last time during our component B webinar, I think we were able to discuss a little bit, especially in terms of how to communicate properly during your interview and the pre-interview process, right? So this time we're going to move forward with the actual mock interview. But before we do that, we also have to look at the other side of your preparation, especially when it comes to your nonverbal communication. Okay, so when we talk about nonverbal communication, this basically covers anything that other people can see sa imuhang ginabuhat. All right? So there are 3 sets of cues that are important in job interviews. So first one is your vocal, next is your physical appearance, and then your body movement or your gesture. So yung vocal is in the way that you, what do you call this? The way that you change or the way that you the way that the delivery rather of your speech. And then next is your physical appearance, of course, the way that you look. And then last is your body movement, or the little things that you are the little things that you are doing, no? Kanang magsigig ka na ana, kanang magsigig ka ng ana-ana sa kamot. Those things also form part of what your interviewer will be looking at. Okay, so next, here are some facts about our nonverbal communication. Well, first of all, actually, the moment that you enter into the facility or the area where you're going to wait, no, yung waiting area for your interview, the company already begins assessing your nonverbal communication. So as soon as you open the door and you enter, and then you place yourself, and then you sit down, the way that you arrange yourself, they are already assessing you. Okay, so they will continue assessing you until the very moment that you leave their premises. I think somebody has their mic on. Could you possibly turn your mic off? Okay, thank you. So if your nonverbal communication skills aren't up to par, it won't matter how well you answer the questions. Ibig sabihin, kapag pagpasok mo pa lang, when you open the door and then you're already the level of confidence that you are showing is already kanang medyo mababa gani, maklaro magudjud na siya nga when you enter a room, ang pagtanaw sa tao sa imuha is that this person does not look ready, or this person looks very nervous, and that would already affect how you're going to do how well you're going to do in your interview. So you have to be very cautious about that. Okay, next is nonverbal communication is driven by someone's emotional state and instincts. So how you're feeling, like the level of nervousness and your level of confidence, will definitely show how prepared you are. If you remember from our previous webinar, now we said that preparation is half the battle already. So if you came in na all fidgety, all nervous, all anxious, it will really show. So you have to be very careful. You have to, before you enter the premises, you have to condition your mind to a certain extent that your emotional state is steady ka, ready ka, and confident ka. Okay? Next, the interviewee's reaction to job candidates are strongly influenced by the applicant's appearance. So studies show that persons who are attractive and appropriately dressed generally receive higher ratings than ones judged to be unattractive or inappropriately dressed. So if you remember last time, we mentioned in your resume, you should not include your picture, right? Because that's the very first impression that they will get of you. But once you pass that level, once you are able to get an interview, this is the time for you to show your best in terms of your physical appearance. Okay, so we cannot deny that really, if you look good, no, hindi naman sinasabi na kailangan maganda or guwapo, but if you look good, if you look presentable and neat, and that will definitely affect how your interview is going to go. So of course, when somebody comes into an interview and they are dressed inappropriately, then it would give the idea to the interviewer that you're not really taking the interview seriously. Okay, so ma'am, how do we know if we are dressed appropriately? Well, of course, first you have to check what type of company you're applying for. I remember before I had this experience na I applied for a cabin crew position, and I didn't know, because I'm not a tourism graduate, right? I didn't know that there were certain standards when it comes to applying for a cabin crew position, like naka-bun yung hair, or tas dapat naka-blazer and stuff. And then I went there wearing a corporate attire lang. Kasi that's what I learned since I was an accounting graduate. No? So when you're an accountant, yung suot mo is kalma lang, right? But when you apply for a cabin crew, may certain standards pala. And then I went there wearing basic lang na corporate attire, and then I realized, hala, I'm underdressed. So obviously that definitely affected the way that I was assessed by the interviewer. So before you go to the company, make sure you check kung ano yung type or ano yung environment ng company na yun. Does it require you to have a very strict, very formal kind of physical appearance, or is it medyo relaxed ba sila? anong colors ang usually ginagamit nila. You can see that especially when you observe the company, no, from the outside. Makikita mo naman kung ano yung level of physical na appearance na kailangan nila sa company nila. So you also have to take note of that. Okay. Next, an interviewee must be credible in order for him or her to form a positive impression, and they must have self-confidence, attitudes, and positive personality traits. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan na, saan na yan? You should be able to give this impression that you are ready, you are excited, no, at the same time you are willing to do your best for the interview, and then you have to show them na kayang-kaya mo yung ginagawa nila. Okay, give me a moment, ha. So, as I said, yun, kailangan na the moment that you enter the area, alam mo na talaga yung ginagawa mo. You have to take control of the situation. You should not let your emotions take control of that particular instance. Kasi understandable talaga that you'll be very nervous, and then hindi mo napapansin, you're sweating na pala, and that affects as well the way that you present yourself to the company. Okay? Give me a moment. All right, so next one is human communication consists of 65% nonverbal communication and only 35% consists of words. So of course, it's very important that when we are communicating to other people, we choose the correct types of words, no, so that it will give the correct impression. But at the same time, when we are delivering these words, yung nonverbal communication natin, the way that our body reacts to what we are saying is also very important. As you can see, it says that it's 65%, no? So, pwede naman kasi sabihin mo na, okay, sige, I'll go with you, pero ayaw mo pala. Tapos nakikita siya with the way that your nonverbal communication is being projected. Okay, so when you are in a job interview, whatever you're saying has to match how your body is reacting or how you are moving your body as well. No, it's not enough for you to just say, yes, I'm very interested in this job, pero yung mukha mo is obviously parang galit. Okay, so you have to be very cautious about that. There are some people kasi na yung facial reactions nila, no, yung parang hindi siya it's very easy to tell if that person is really saying the truth kasi nakikita sa reaction sa mukha nila na parang dili na mag-drawing ang ilahang nawom pero nag-yes gihapon sila or nag-go gihapon sila sa ilahang buhaton. Okay? All right. So to continue, by the way, our discussion this morning, could we all welcome Dr. Ray Castrona, the External Vice President for our Internal and International Affairs for the university, as he has more expertise on this type of topic. So I will now hand you over to the more capable hands of Sir Ray. Sir Ray?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kate. Actually, ano lang good class, late ako. Late ako kasi I'm stuck in a traffic, no? Grabing traffic sa highway. But anyway, okay. If you remember last time, we ended our first seminar with the discussion on job interview, and we focus much on the substance of your answers, no? If the questions run like this, then how are you going to respond to those questions? Remember always that job interview is not only about knowing your potentials, knowing your capabilities, your qualifications, your strengths, and the like. But one important aspect in the job interview is also testing you whether you have a better grasp on the requirements and expectations of the positions and of the company. So which means that how's your preparation? Do you have a prior background, prior knowledge about the requirements of the position, the nitty-gritty of the task, no, of the job, including the company itself? So we talk about substance in that sense, no? This time we're going to continue. How are you going to ace in the job interview, perfecting your interview performance, no? By looking at the other aspect of your communication, which is the nonverbal communication. No? So last session, we talked about the verbal communication, the substance of your talk, of your answers. This time, we're going to talk about nonverbal communication. And maybe you are surprised to see on screen that human communication consists of a whopping 65% nonverbal and only 35% verbal, no? I mean, consists of words, all right? So what does it mean? What are the nonverbal communication? Kate, can you stop your share screen so that I can share mine? Share, okay. I'll go straight to that slide. Where is that? Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. Sorry for that. So it's 65% nonverbal. So for example, when you're on a date with your squeezy or with your hubby, you're in the Rojas Market for a candlelit dinner, no? Diba? You're celebrating your week sari or your month sari, and you're excited for that date. And then, if I'm in a date, what's important is the conversation. The conversation, alam mo yon. And I don't like that, when we're if we're in a date, even if it's a group date, a friends date, no? Oh. Um, I don't like that may isang member doon or may isang kasama mo na nagsige kuri-kuri sa cellphone, no? Nagsige kalaw-kalaw sa cellphone, or the concentration is not in the conversation itself because it's an insult to the other party. You know what I mean? No? So, non-verbal communication is really very important. Even if nagatubag ka, nagaistorya ka, but your full attention is not with them, that's an insult. All right? So, that's how important non-verbal communication. So, first impression, I think it was discussed by Kate that there's a first impression. For example, those who dress well are preferred by HR and by those interviewee compared to those applicants who are not dressed well. No? Okay. So what are the nonverbal communication? Take note of this. No, these are facial expressions. No, mugutik beauty ka ba? No, smiling ka ba? Or snabero ka ba? Di ba? So something like that. No, makita sa imuhang naong kung naaba ka sa mode, no, or medyo dili ba ka comfortable or what, no. The tone of your voice is also very important. Nakukay kang tao pero mura kag mantianak og tingog, 'di ba? So I think you have to try listening your voice, no, record your voice and try to listen whether pleasing to the ears, no, or dili, no. Movement, your appearance. That's why part of our topic today is what proper attire you should wear during interview. Okay, there's a generic attire. Although Kate has mentioned that sometimes specific industry and specific career, no, specific discipline requires particular attire. All right, but there's a generic attire for job interview. Okay, your eye contact. Sinasabi nga natin, di ba, that your eyes are the mirror of your soul. So, if you are not focusing, no, if you're not looking at the eyes of your interviewer, well, it seems that you're giving an impression that you are not confident. You are avoiding, no, eye-to-eye contact. All right? Also, gestures. All right, sige. So what are advisable body language during job interview? Well, first, you have to make eye contact with the interviewer for a few seconds at a time. Even if it's an online interview like what we're doing right now, no, you have to look for the camera of your computer, no, and then look always. Do not look at the screen, no. Kay minsan conscious kay tatanaw na to atong sarili sa screen, no. Do not look at the screen, look at the camera in the computer or in the laptop, no. You smile and you nod at appropriate times when the interviewer is talking. Don't laugh unless the interviewer does first, all right? Don't slouch, okay? Relax and you lean forward, especially if you're in a face-to-face interview. You lean forward a little towards the interviewer so you appear interested and engaged, no? Do not lean your back at the back of the chair because you will look too casual and relaxed, no? I mean, it seems that you're not giving any respect, no? Respect to the position of the interviewer, okay? Keep your feet on the floor and your back against lower back of the chair. You pay attention and be interested. Look interested, no? You listen, do not interrupt. Let the interviewer finish, no, the question before you respond. You stay calm. Even if you had bad experience in previous job interviews, you keep your emotions to yourself. No, simple. In a job interview, think whether the words that you are going to utter and the actions that you are going to make will compromise, no, your application. Whether it will be pleasing or it will not be, it will create a negative impression to you as an applicant. Not sure what to do with your hands. You can hold a pen, a notepad, or rest an arm on the chair or on your lap, no? So you look comfortable. Don't let your arms fly around the room when you're making a point, no? Especially if you're in a face-to-face interview. So let's talk about attire. We said that, attire gives first impression, and there's a saying that first impression lasts, no? So your attire also speaks a lot about your personality, about your character, about your choices, no, about your attitude, no, in short, about your personality. So you have to be careful about what you're going to wear, especially the color that you are going to use, no, during job interview. All right. So let's start for the gentleman. Number one, for the guys, you can work with colors and layers, no. um there's an impression that you young generation, your generation now, no, Caed 500 students, that your generation is a generation of fashion and style. You have taste for fashion and style, therefore you try to show that, no. And what does it mean in jobs, no, in career, no, in hiring potential candidates, no, for a particular position? It means to say that if you're like that, if you have taste for fashion and style, therefore you are a creative person. No, you are a creative person. You value expectations. No, you value what's important and what's not. You value what's in and what's out. You follow that, no? So you have to show that when you're in a job interview by wearing something that's, different styles, different layers, but you have to make it sure that colors are coordinated with each other. Okay? The second one is you can wear sweater and button down, especially if the job requires you to move a lot, to travel a lot. There's a lot of mobility in the job, and especially if the job interview happens during rainy season, during cold season. No? Why wear sweater and button down? Because, for example, if the position relates to technical field, no, like engineering, architecture, no, or even criminology, for example, most of these jobs, most of these workers, no, they travel a lot, they move a lot, no. So wearing sweater and button down, you are showing that you're the person who is always on the go. Okay, you are always on the go. Okay, for sure you missed that, no, the ring and school. If you're here in school, it's already time. Well, navy blue blazer. If the job, opposite to the one that's wearing a sweater and button down, if the job requires you to stay a lot, to stay most of the time in the office and facing your executive, no, the top honchos in the organization, no, the boss, and you're going to stay in the office, then you have to be corporatist in your look. You have to be so corporate looking in your attire, no. So what you can do is that you can wear navy blue blazer. Why blue? Because blue represents loyalty, no? And blue, you can match that with different types of different colors of pants, no? So you also look fashionable in that style. Why blue again? Because it represents loyalty, and there is an impression that in your generation, people from your generation, you are not loyal. Kasi nga nauso sa inyo ang kasabihang hashtag walang forever, no? Oh, so, hindi daw kayo loyal na mga generasyon, no? Kayong mga henerasyon. So, kailangan ninyo ipakita na loyal kayo by wearing color blue. Okay? Casual button down, you're very safe. If you are not sure whether the job requires you to move a lot or the job requires you to stay most of the time in the office, then you can wear casual button down. You're in the safe zone, no? If that's your attire. You can go back to basics like, black and white, all right? So generally, men's interview attire, these are the things that you need to observe. One is that suit, no? I mean, you can wear a suit that's very corporatist, no? Long sleeve shirt. If you're wearing suit, then you have to wear long sleeve. Do not wear suit if you're wearing short sleeve, no? Of course, belt and then tie, dark socks, wear conservative leather shoes. Do not wear ang tawag nito, a badminton shoes, a basketball shoes, a sport shoes, no? You have to wear a office shoes, no, a leather shoes. Little or no jewelry, okay? Um, what's the most important jewelry for the gentleman? Accessory for the gentleman. Come on, type your answer in the chat box. I'd like to hear you. Let me check. What's your answer? There you go. You're correct, no? Watch. That's correct, no? All right. So watch is important accessory for the guys, and in fact, just like your attire, the color of your attire and the style of your attire reflect your personality. Also about your watch, no? The kind of watch that you wear speaks a lot about your personality and about your choices also in life, no? You limit the aftershave, neatly trimmed nails. For sure, the ladies would agree with me that guys with untrimmed nails are so yucks, no? Diba? Are so yucks. I mean, feeling ako, no, kung makakita kong laki or tao, kuan nga kanang tag-aso ko, feeling ako bitukon. Kay mahilig man kuna sila magkit-kit unya ang mga hugaw ana, no? So that's so yucks. You can also bring portfolio or briefcase, no? So these are the things that you have to observe when you're in a job interview. For the ladies, these are the things that you may also take a look at. One is that you can wear sweater and black dress pants, no? And or you can experiment with button down attires like that. Uh, for example, if the job requires you to move a lot, no, travel a lot, just like the one that I mentioned for the guys, then you can wear those attire, no. If the job also requires you to stay in the office most of the time, then you can wear navy blue blazer and khaki shirt, no. Again, why I emphasize blue and why I'm fond of presenting to you the color blue for your blazer, because again, the color blue represents loyalty, no. All right. Or if the job requires you to, take the public transport most of the time, then you can wear button down and v-neck sweater. Or if you're, for example, in sales and marketing, or you're going with your boss who's into sealing a deal, no, negotiating for some sales and the like, then you have to be feminine look. You have to be in the feminine look side, no? You have to be ladylike in your look, all right? Because you have to show your soft side. Meron kasing psychology of colors and psychology of attire, no? The style that you are going to wear may also affect the behavior of the person you're talking to. You know what I mean? So if you're ladies, if you're showing the lady side of yours, no? You know what I mean? The soft side of yours, it will be very easy for you to sway, for you to you know, attract attention. And if you're, as I said, if you're selling something, if you're marketing something, if you want to close a deal, then mapadali mo mapa-yes yung iyong kausap, no? Kung ganyan personality ang ipakita mo. Alright? For the ladies who's into highly technical and highly specialized, no, discipline, like for example, architecture, engineering, no, hospitality, for example, then you can wear something black. Why is that so? Because disciplines like that requires highly competent skills. No? You know, you have to be highly competent for you to be able to perform the task. And black represents authority. Black represents that you are really good at that, no? At that particular field. So that's what black means. Okay? So aside from authority, respect, no? You know your craft. That's what do you mean by black, all right? So you can wear black. Also black dress and tights and so those are the suggested attire for the ladies, all right? Okay. So part of the topic that we are going to discuss, no, for Caed 500 is about entrepreneurship, because probably some of you would like to pursue, no, and open your own business, no, um, especially those who are in the business administration field. But you know, being entrepreneurship is not only limited to those who have taken business course, but even other technical courses. Like for example, there are entrepreneurs, there are businessmen who are coming from other fields like engineering, no, from education, all right, also from architecture, from hospitality, education, and the like, all right. So entrepreneurship means be your own boss. Okay? Kung ayaw ninyo na meron kayong ibang boss, no? Meron kayong inuutusan kayo or what, then pwede kayo ang magiging boss. All right? So you run your own business, you start your own business. So that's why you can be an entrepreneur. All right? Here we go. Entrepreneurship is of course working for oneself, no? That's self-employment. There are two types of employment, no? Sa Kain 500 students, no? One is wage employment. So kung mag-empleyado ka, mag-apply ka trabaho, that's what you call wage employment. The other one is self-employment. Well, of course, kung maski entrepreneur ka, maski na kay negosyo, employment gihapon na siya, no? So, ang tawag ana is self-employment, all right? And it's an alternative to wage employment, and you can start your own business. You can run your own business, no? And be your own boss. Now, if you want to be an entrepreneur, here are the characteristics of an entrepreneur, and look at yourself, no? Assess yourself whether these qualities are present in you, no? You have this, okay? Check in yourself. Tingnan mo sa sarili mo kung meron ka ba nito, no? Number one in the list is risk taker. Okay? So ano ang risk taker? Ibig sabihin, ikaw yung tao na hindi takot kung whether mag-fail, kung anong outcome niyan, because what you are after is experience, no? And what you are after is that you are sure of what you are doing, all right? So you are a risk taker person. Example ito yung mga mahilig mag-mountain climbing, mahilig na mga extreme na mga sports, no? Because that's so risky, okay? So tingnan mo ang sarili mo kung risk taker ka ba, no? Hindi ka ba takot kung anong magiging outcome? Basta ang gusto mo experience, gusto mo maka-experience, no? The other one is that you're willing to work hard, no? I mean, every minute of an hour and every hour of the day is so important to you, no? And you value time. That's why you measure your success that each hour of the day you have an outcome, no? There's a result. Hindi ka pwede na upo-upo ka lang, wala kang ginagawa and the like. Anyway, even if you're sitting down and listening to me right now, probably some of you are doing something, no? You are doing multitask, no? You're listening to me at the same time you're doing something, or some of you are concentrating in listening to me, no? You're so serious in listening to me. That's fine, because that's also productivity, no? There's something that you will learn from our session today. You're passionate about pursuing a business idea, really it runs in your blood, it runs in your DNA that you really want to start your own business. So that's fine. not afraid to lose money, time, and face, no? So even if you have allocated something, you have spend something, no? Kasi hindi pa pwede sa negosyo nga di gyud ka mo kuot sa imong sariling bulsa class, no? Dapat mo kuot jud ka na gyud ka niya imong oras, no? Nasayang ang imong oras. So okay na siya, no? Dili ka mahadlok ana. All right? Kung halimbawa maging failure ka, okay lang, dali ra ka makapag-move on, no? Dili ka kanang tao nga kung tinugayan nimo makapag-move on, oy no, lisod ka ika mag-move on, all right? So okay lang na siya, no? I mean, what's important there is that you learn a lesson and that you don't commit the same mistake. All right? You reflect, no? You ponder, you stay in the corner and you think what went wrong. And that you try to think of strategies, new things, so that you will not commit the same mistake. Mm. Physically and emotionally able to withstand the pressure. Okay? Resourceful and innovative. Ibig sabihin, marunong ka maghanap ng mga kaibigan, ng mga tao na pwede magtulong sa iyo, no? You will also learn from these people, something like that, no? You can also envision the future, no? Di man pud ka sa mananagna, di man pud ka sa ingon nga Madam Auring ka, but the point there is that you have the ability to see the future, no? You really draw your own path. Di pwede yung sinasabi natin na bahala na si Batman, dili pwede wala ingon anak class, no? Dapat ikaw gyud ang mag-draw sa imuhang direction, sa imong ugma. I-drawing gyud nimo imong kapalaran. So kung unsa man ang imong ginabuhat karon, no, samtang bata ka pa, unsa man ang imong mga desisyon sa imong kinabuhi, isipon nimo ang long-term effect ana, no. Pag-isipan mo yan several times whether that is for your own good or that it's not, it's otherwise, no, the opposite is different, I mean the result is different, no. Okay, all right. And you can handle money well, no, dili ka splurge, dili ka gastador, no. Kung naa kay makit-an, pag-isipan usa nimo kung importante ba gyud ni paliton ba gyud ni nimo, no. I mean ba gyud ni ako, Caed 500 students, what has changed, although I'm an economics graduate, but what has changed my perspective about personal finance is that when I started to read the book of Robert Kiyosaki, no, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So for Caed 500 students, if you really want, no, to improve your personal good management of your personal finance, then you can read the book of Robert Kiyosaki. Very simple pagkasulat, but it will give you so many lessons about personal finance management, no? So ako, noon, matagal naman yan, no, na book. Noon, yan talaga yung nakapag-change sa akin ng perspective sa aking personal finance. Even if I'm an economics graduate, I'm not so good in handling my money, my personal finance, but after reading the book, it has changed my perspective and it has improved my management style in personal finance. All right? Okay. So there are many books, no, that can help you about improving your style, no, your management style on your personal finance. So what does it take to become an entrepreneur? Well, one is that you assess yourself, no. I have given you checklists. I have given you the list of the qualities, no, for you to be an entrepreneur. You study the business you want to go into. Di naman pwede na muambak ka diretso sa swimming pool without looking at checking whether pila man na siya kalawom, 6 feet ba na siya or 2 feet lang ba na siya, di ba? So the same thing if you want to go into business, no? Studyuhan mo na siya, naabay imong interest diha, naabay imong passion diha, naabay potential ana nga business or wala, no? You ask advice and ask for help, then you look for people who can really help you, who can coach you, who can give you some advices, no? All right? And you have to prepare yourself for both success and failure. Kahit 500 students, life is not a straight line, no? Dili na siya straight line. Crooked line na siya, no? So naay up, naay down, naay up, naay down. So mahibong ka karon, ano man gyud malasa man gyud sa akong life, nganong dili man gyud nako ni time, no? Nganong yun ana man gyud, no? Napoy usahay nga okay kaayo ka, no? Maswerte ka, no? So we know life is a roller coaster ride. No? Our journey in this world is a roller coaster ride. All right? Okay. And if you need funding, if you need uh, financial sources, then there are microfinancing. No, microfinancing is a capitalization for entrepreneurs, for would-be entrepreneurs. So we have agencies in our government that who will help you, no? uh, help you in your quest for entrepreneurship. No? So there are some government institutions. No? Alam mo yung mga sinasabi nila ng mga sa mga kandidato ng mga program na tabangan nato na dugay na nakaayo class oy panahon pa na ni Mampur ang problema lang ana wa ta kabalo nga naa di ay na no naa di ay na so ang question na is unsaon na to na pag-access no. So you can go to DTI, for example, you can go to DOLE, you can go to DOST, no? You can go to City Hall. Merong mga office na who can really help you, no? Hindi naman pwede na mag-adto ka lang po dito, zero po ka, no? Di ba? Dapat ready ka na, no? Ibig sabihin, equip ka, mag-inquire ka, kung meron ba sila mga training. Kasi ang iba class, ang ibang mga government agencies, meron sila yung parang training com production, no? Mag-undergo ka ng training, tapos bigyan ka nila ng capital for pautang, something like that, no? And then hangtod mag-grow ang imong business, o pwede ka dito mag-utang na pod in case you need capital, bayaran mo, mag-establish ka ng iyong credibility, no? So that's what you can do, all right? Sige. So I'm excited. I'm excited to listen to you. We're going to have a mock interview this time. So for our Caed 500 students, do not be afraid. No, do not be shy. This is your chance. We are here to help you. We are here to coach you. So participate in our mock interview. Okay? All right. So i-remind ko lang kayo that in the interview there's a rule of three. No, you have to be brief, articulate, and structured. No, do not go around the bush. Structuring your interview will help you, no, will prevent you from going around the bush. No, like for example, are you comfortable with deductive or inductive style? So what does it mean? Are you comfortable in answering your question by starting on a general idea and then trickle down into by giving examples of situations and then connect that to the importance of the job, no? Or are you comfortable of starting with an example? So pwede ka mo ingon na, "Oh, let me cite you an example in answering that question, ma'am," no? Or let me cite a situation in responding to that question. So this is how I would respond to that question by citing a situation. So you start with specific before going into the grand statement, all right? The rule of marketing, you have to remember that in a job interview, you are marketing yourself, you are promoting yourself. So who is the most important element in the job interview? Actually, it's not you as an applicant, but it's the interviewer, it's the company, it's the position. So you have to mention always how you respond to questions about your strengths, no, your qualities, your characteristics, your experience. How are all those important to the requirements of the position? All right. Okay. And what are the potential questions? We have discussed this last time, no? So questions about your life, no? Your qualifications, your experience, your character, and of course, questions about the job and the organization. So kaya yung question about why do you want to work in our company? What do you know about our company? So things like that, no? All right. And then things that you need to prepare before the interview is that you remind yourself, you research the company and of the position, then you do some audit of your skills, no? And then what the employer wants, the expectations of the position, and what are your potentials, your strengths, no? Okay, including your experience if you have any experience. So I'll turn over the virtual floor to Benji and to Kate for this part. Sige.
Okay, Pastor. All right. So, sige, since we are now ready, no, and prepared to answer some questions, as I mentioned earlier, we will be calling on some volunteers to give us an example on how they would answer the questions. So, Sir Ian, ako po yung screen, sir, para sa next na.
Yeah, sige. Okay, I'll stop sharing.
Okay pa,
Stop
sir. Thank
share.
you.
There you go. Okay.
Okay. Sige, so let's have um, volunteers muna before tayo mag-call out ng other people. So baka merong gusto munang mag-volunteer um, to answer our first question.
Or before we proceed to the Q&A, then baka may gustong magtanong, no? Pwede din.
Yeah, sorry.
Tanong. Sige,
Yes.
okay.
Before, like parang ito, i-confirm lang before mag-answer. That's also okay. Baka you have questions muna for Sir Ray. If you do, just raise your hand, or virtual hand rather, or you can just turn on your mic. If wala naman, for now, wala. Sige. Kung meron kayong questions somewhere in the middle while we're doing the mock interview, that's also okay. So for the meantime, let's go to our first question. Sino yung gustong mag-answer? Can we have a volunteer na mag-raise ng hand? Yung mag-raise ng hand, yung first na magva-volunteer, papasa sa finals. Hindi lang 75, 95 ang score sa finals. Sige, anybody who wants to volunteer? Wala? Agoy. Kung wala mag-volunteer, ako yung mangita diri sa ato ang participants. Sige, wala mag-volunteer? Agoy, hala, gamay na lang kayo participants magkababa. Huwag kayong matakot. Don't be scared. Sige, let's have Charlene Lipardo. Charlene May Lipardo. Please turn on your mic and your camera. Miss
Yes,
Charlene. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Miss Charlene, for answering. If you could turn on your camera as well, that would be really nice. So our first question for you, Miss Charlene, is what salary are you expecting? How would you answer that? Ay, sorry. Taka lang, sorry. Masyado akong excited. Ms. Charlene, could you possibly turn on your cam and then introduce yourself and your course? Sorry.
Yes, yes ma'am. Wait lang po. Paano? Hala. Ara.
Okay. Sige. Again, your name and your course.
Makita ba akong face, ma'am? Hindi ko sure.
Ayun, nakita na. Ay, ayun, there we go.
Okay na
Hi,
siya,
Miss
ma'am.
Charlene. Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. So, hi, good morning, everyone. I am Charlene May Lipardo, and I am an HR student. Yes, ma'am. So,
BA HR, tama ba?
yes po. Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. Sige, just curious, before your very first question, Ms. Charlene, why did you choose HR?
Actually, I don't have the specific course or program when I enroll, ma'am, into college. It's just that maybe HR is calling me, Char. Maybe the course
Okay.
because I don't really have a specific course to enroll.
Okay, so this is going to be a very helpful na session sa imo, no? Kasi hopefully soon baka ikaw na yung magtatanong ng mga questions na ito. So let's see how you would answer these questions. Your first question, Ms. Charlene, is what salary are you expecting? How would you answer that?
For me, if I am about to ask with that question, can I talk vernacular, ma'am?
Technically, during interviews, we speak in English. Try your best na lang in English.
So, when I was interviewed when applying to my current job, I was asked with this question. I just answered that based on my skills, based on my knowledge, and based on my experience, I don't really expect a high salary, but I am expecting that my skills and my skills and yeah, my skills will be meted or will be compensated very well with the skills that with the skills that I um give to the organization or to the work that I given to. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, so alright, pwede na yun siya. By the way, Charlene, so that you won't, para hindi ka mahirapan, assume na lang na graduate ka na, tas ito yung first job na ina-applyan mo. So parang yun yung perspective nating lahat. Okay? Sige,
Okay po.
let's try another question, Miss Charlene. One
Wala,
more.
so
Kaya yan. Sige, Miss Charlene.
Nadyo ko hint pa mo ako matawagan kay Mark. Ako lang ay yung student daya sa code na ano.
Sige. Your question, Miss Charlene. What can you do for us that other candidates can't?
For me, what can I do is I am capable or I am a flexible person that maybe I have skills that others don't have, especially in technicals, in computers, and I have the experience when it comes to in applying in your organization since I am applying as an HR person, as an HR staff. I know that I have the experience because I was a student assistant from University of Mindanao, and I know what are the tasks and what are the process inside the office. That's all.
Okay, so parang prepared si Miss Charlene. Sabi niya pa,
Kung baan na ganit ko.
nafe-feel niya na siya yung matatawag. How does it feel, Miss Charlene? How does it feel that you're answering the questions now? Okay, kulbaan si Miss Charlene. Sige, para di na makulbaan si Miss Charlene, let's move on to the next volunteer. Thank you so much, Miss Charlene, for sharing your answers with us. Sige, now nga nasugna na ni Miss Charlene, kinsay gusto next nga mag-volunteer. I think it's actually a very good idea if you practice now, no? Nga mag-answer of questions because you will also be doing this next week. You will have your schedule for this kasi part talaga yan siya ng requirements natin sa componency to have the mock interview. So as early as now, it would be good to be able to practice answering questions. Meron bang gusto mag-volunteer? If wala, ako na naman ulit mag-volunteer sa iyo. Wala? Sige. Let's have Crizal Larios. Tama ba niya ako ka-pronounce? Or Crizil Larios. Miss Larios, if I'm not mistaken. Nawala siya. Ay, uy. Ayaw mo kawala. Sige, let's have Bea. Bea Camille Uy. Miss Bea. Miss Bea, please turn on your mic. Wala. Sige. Sir Ray. Ha? Krisha? Okay. Krisha, halaman ni Uy. Krisha May.
Krisha May Ganson.
Ayun. Yung tinawag ni Sir Benji.
From Teacher Education. Wala. Wala. Okay, sige. Sir Ray, if sir, kasi ayaw nila mag-volunteer, would it be alright na if tatawagin ko sila tapos hindi sila sasagot, they will be absent for this session na lang po. Is that okay?
Yes, go.
Okay, sige. So we have permission na from Sir Ray ha, kung tatawagin, tapos hindi sasagot, you will be absent for this session. I'll take down notes kung sino yung mga hindi sumasagot. Okay? Again, remember this is a big part of your component C session, so please try your best. Dili mo ka na mo i-judge. Okay? Let's have John Carlo Bongkawel. John Carlo Bongkawel. One last, John Carlo Bongkawel. Okay, so John Carlo Bongkawel, absent. Bongkawel, 6478. Okay, next. Casey Ann Gregorios. Casey Ann Gregorios. Casey Ann. Again, if hindi kayo sasagot, diretso na tayo absent. And that will affect your grade for Caed 500. Bakit ayaw nyo sumagot? Sige, Casey Ann, absent. Okay. I see a familiar name. Kay Haveliana. Kay Haveliana. Hala, uy, nausa naman yung mga people today. Wala ta sa mood mag-answer of questions. Busy na ta sa tong finals. Wala, Kay Haveliana. Okay. Dapat pag-practice na mo karon pa lang. Michael Flores. Wala, Jude. Michael Flores. I'm writing down your names, by the way, sa mga absent. Michael Flores, wala. Okay. Pinakaupat na taka-absent, no? Ganahan mo magbalik-balik og take og Caed. Okay na po sa amo, ah. We are happy to have you, no? Ganahan mo magbalik-balik.
Ano study?
Nympha Luardo. Miss Nympha Luardo.
Yes, hello.
Okay, there we go. Good morning, Miss Nympha. Could you possibly turn your camera on? Ayan. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Good morning. Sige, Miss Nympha, good morning. Could you introduce yourself to us, please? Name and course and why you chose that course. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry for the noise, ma'am. I'm at
It's okay.
sa tindahan po kasi ng parents ko. Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Nympha Luardo, and I took up a course of Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management.
Okay, and why tourism?
Actually, it is my dream job when I was a kid, but right now I'm still pursuing it, and I hope that when I graduated in this course, I will get this kind of job.
Okay, wow. I wonder if nag-join ka nung nag-recruit ang Qatar sa Manila. Nag-join ka nun?
Wala po, ma'am.
Sige lang, baka babalik sila next time. No, you can join that one next time. Sige, so Nympha, your question is, how has your experience in college prepared you for your career?
Well, actually, it is a great opportunity for me. So aside from I have learned a lot of things, especially in the course that I am choosing right now, which is PSTM. So actually, it helped me to mold my personality, my skills, my ability, and my knowledge also.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Nympha.
Yes, thank you.
Next, another one. If I were to ask your professors or your previous boss to describe you, what do you think they would say?
Your previous boss to describe you, what would they say? Actually, of your previous, wait lang pa, ma'am. Sorry pa. I'm sorry, nakamute po. Actually, I don't think, maybe my personality to describe myself, because I am a type of person that is very joyful, energetic, and maybe they will remember me as a like that kind of person.
Okay, and one last question, Miss Nympha. If you had to live your life over again, what one thing would you change? Nakamute, ayan.
Sorry po. Um, if given a chance to live in my life over again, what one thing would I change? Um, Maybe I would change my characteristics, if that's the right thing. Because when I was in my younger age, I am a spoiled brat with my and my mom. Like I always quarrel with her, and sometimes I um I did not take that as a, you know, motivation for myself or inspiration, if that is correct. But if there is one thing that I would change, maybe is my attitude, like that, my personality.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Nympha. Very good. You've had your 3 questions now. Let's move on to the next person.
Thank you, ma'am.
Si, si pangalan niya.
Vinluan. ESA Vinluan.
Vinluan. Okay. Vinluan. Sige. Mr. or Miss Vinluan? Please turn on
Mr.
your...
siya, Mr. Vinluan from
Okay.
BS Accountancy.
I think I know this guy, Mr. Vinluan.
Dala siya
Matingog unta ni
nagsinyahay.
siya. Matingog unta ni si Vinluan. Wala. Agoy. Going once. Going twice. Ma-absent gyud ang dili mo tingog. Wala no? Sige, Mr. Vinluan absent. Can we have Joanne Araneta? Joanne Araneta. Wala. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wala. Okay. Can we have John Daniel Listo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hi. John, could you turn your camera on, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Sige. Saglit lang. Let's wait for John to get ready. Okay, there we go. Hello, John. Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Sige. So could you introduce yourself muna, please? Your name, your course, and why you chose that course.
Good morning, ma'am. I am John Daniel Lupi Andisto, and I am taking up Bachelor of Science in Criminology.
And why criminology?
I took this course because I want to serve my country, and especially people, innocent people.
Okay, so you're into public service, yeah? Okay, sige, thank you so much, John. Sige, let's try your first question, John. Is there anything else I should know about you?
Is there anything else I can tell you about myself? I am a person that is optimistic. I tend to think of something positive whenever I encounter negative things, such as, take for example, I may experience some difficulties in life, like financial. I'll just think that whenever there's a problem, there's a solution for that one. Because I believe in a philosophy which is in every darkness, there's a light. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, sorry, nawala akong mic. Okay, thank you. Next question, John. If you were an animal, which one would you want to be?
If I will be an animal, I will be a dog. Because dog is a man's best friend, and if you can see, dogs are very loyal, and that's why I am applying here in your company, because I am the type of person that is really committed on my work and my job.
Okay, thank you so much, John. And one last question is, what would you do if you are an HR or human resource and you have chosen one applicant while your boss really wanted to hire another candidate?
Okay. I will tell my boss what I found unique about the person that I have chosen, and if ever that he will not agree, I will uh, I will respect my boss decision. That's all.
Okay, sorry. Oh, wala aking mic. Okay, thank you so much, John. Very good. Now, let's move on. I think si Vinluan, I think he wanted to, ano daw, answer. Vinluan, are you there?
He's good, huh?
Yes,
Kate
ma'am.
is
Good
good.
morning.
Ay, sorry, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay. Oh, good daw,
Congrats.
John.
Kudos, John.
Congrats.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Sige, si Vinluan, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning po, ma'am. Pero
Ayun. Mm.
wala po kasing cam yung safety ko sa front because it's already broken. So,
Okay. Sige. But as long as you can hear us clearly, tama
yes,
ba? Okay,
yes po,
sige.
ma'am.
Let's try. Sige. Sige, Mr. Vinluan, please introduce yourself, your course, and why you chose that course.
Hello everyone. Good morning. I am John Melvin Luan, a BSA student, major in accountancy. And I chose this course because aside from it is also proportionally what I want, it is also what my parents want for me to take as a college student. So
Okay. Okay, sige. So may yung parents may influence. Anyway, sige, Mr. Vinluan, let's try. Your first question sorry. Your first question is, how many hours a week do you usually work and why?
If it asks based on here in our household, I usually work 8 hours a day. So because most of the time I am also doing some school works and all, and also as a responsibility as a child, ma'am. And that's it.
Okay. Next question, Mr. Vinluan. Do you think companies need B players, or is it better off only having A players on staff, and why?
I think it is best to have A B players because whenever the A players fail to do something, B players would suit those jobs that have failed to be fulfilled by A players. So they are also necessary to a company, ma'am.
Okay. And one last question, Vinluan. I've seen applicants with impressive credentials and good years of experience. Why should I hire you for the job and not them?
Not to boast, but I think one most unique attitude that I have among them, and also aside from their maybe their good credentials and years of experience, I adapt quickly to the new environment, and I can adjust myself to our work that I am applying. So, and I am also a guy that is also optimistic. So that is, I think that's the most unique attitude that I have. So
Okay,
thank you.
thank you so much, Mr. Vinluan.
Thank
Good
you.
job. Sige, so tanggalon ti ka sa ma-absent. Sige, next.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Pasinay gusto mag-volunteer diha, just raise your hand. Otherwise, I will keep calling people randomly. Can we have Joseph Busho? Mr. Joseph Busho? Joseph Busho, please turn on your mic. 3, 2, 1. Okay, absent. Next, could we have wait lang ha, Busho. Could we have Charmeliano? Charmeliano or Charmaine? Ayun, good morning. Sige, could you turn your camera on, Miss Liano, if I'm not mistaken, tama pa kung ganyan. Liano.
Ma'am, kuba akong camera, ma'am.
Ay, okay. Pero madungog me.
Oo, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Sige, Miss Liano, go ahead, introduce yourself, tell us your course and why you chose that course.
Good morning, everyone. I am Charmy Liano, and I am BS Accounting Information System.
Okay, why did you choose that course?
Because this is my dream to become an AIS auditor.
Oh. Okay, all right. Sige, so thank you so much, Miss Liano. Let's check your first question. Would you rather get, can you hear me well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would you rather get permission from your boss before undertaking a brand new project or be given enough rope to hang yourself?
That's all.
Sige, go ahead, Miss Liano.
Wait lang.
Okay, one more time, Miss Liano. Would you rather get permission from your boss before undertaking a brand new project or be given enough rope to hang yourself?
For me, ma'am, I will get permission from my boss since this is really crucial to ask permission. And for him, it is important that I will ask first before getting another brand new project.
Okay. Next one, Miss Liano. Which do you think is more important, to be lucky or to be skillful?
For me, I think it is really important to be more skillful since this is really important when working because it really help you when working or when doing your works. That's all,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. And one last one. What is the important lesson you have learned from this pandemic and how has this changed your perspective?
The most important lesson that I have learned from this pandemic is to listen and always follow the rules because when we follow, we will get or we will gain knowledge and we will not hurt. And this is very important to listen because um when you listen, we will help everyone not to not to get the virus. And this this lesson changed me to become more to be more
Go ahead. More.
to be positive and always think that that
That. Go ahead. That. Miss Liana, are still there? Ayun. Go ahead, go ahead.
ay sorry na mute po, sorry ma'am.
Tiwasan na. Sige, go.
That to be positive and um that could
And?
change everyone's life. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sige. So that's your last question, Miss Liana. Thank you so much. Next
Thank
question,
you.
next student rather. Could we have Edward Lawrence Lara? Edward Lawrence Lara.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good afternoon. Good morning. Sorry.
Good morning. Could you turn your camera on, please? Ayun. Sige. Hi, Edward. Good morning. Could you introduce yourself and then your course?
Hello, everyone. I am Edward Lawrence Lara, and I take Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. So I chose this. I chose this profession because I can see myself as an English educator of young students, and I think this is the very important profession in our community today because we are building cream of the crop graduates who establish or who will be the change of this country and this world. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So let's begin with your first question. Edward, your first question is, where do you see yourself in 7 years?
Well, I see myself 7 years from now as a teacher of young generation, leveraging philosophies of education, changing lives of my students as simple manner as I can, and teaching them the values that I want to offer, not only for them to share it to their kids, but also to be the change they wanted to see for themselves.
Okay. Wow. Next question, Mr. Edward. Do you have any questions for me?
If given a chance to ask you a question, what makes you blush, ma'am?
Okay, that's I've been caught off guard. When you give me coffee, it will make me blush already. Okay, but sige. Moving forward to your next question, Edward. When was the last time you broke the rules, and what was the situation, and what did you do?
When I am going to an NBI to get my certificate, I broke this rule, jaywalking, because I want to be there on time. So I run fast and not caught. Yeah, jaywalking.
So luckily you were not caught.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Edward.
Thank
Let's
you.
have another volunteer. Wala siya mag-volunteer diha. Magpatawag jud mo. Can we have Jamar Doria? May naghahansa pala. Sorry, hindi ko nakita. Saglit ha. John Fred Espero. Sige, go ahead. Ayun, John Fred. There we go. See, turn on
hello,
your mic.
ma'am.
Hi, good morning, John. Could you introduce
Morning,
yourself,
ma'am.
please?
My name is John Fred. I am from or shall we say, I will be a future educator major in general science. And how are you, ma'am?
I am good, actually. I'm very happy that you volunteered. So thank you so much for that. Sige, John, are you ready to begin?
Oh, yes, ma'am. By the way, I took my major in the sense that I have this motivation from my senior high school that I've experienced, like, not to badmouth them, like incompetent teacher, I guess, in my subject. She only read the materials on the board and doesn't teach us as the concept, but rather read it only. So I have this passion to I need to change it. I need to to be level with the global competitive teachers to deliver like quality education for our learners here in the Philippines. So that was my motivation, ma'am. And that was my main reason why I took this course.
Okay, awesome. So John, let's start. Your first question is, how do you deal with pressure or a stressful situation?
Oh, that's a very wonderful question talaga, ma'am, no? When dealing with pressure, like for example, in decision making, so I have applied this theory in education, which is the utilitarianism, the deontology, and as well as the divine commandment. Yeah, I really think that is very applicable when I deal with my pressure, because I have this two-minded thinking when it comes to decision making, and when I perform decision making, I must follow the theories, even though they are theories, but I think they are very applicable. No, for instance, if I will be given a chance to choose to live 100 years alone, or shall we say eternity, and a day with my special someone, it's very hard, no? If so when you follow the utilitarianism, and if you have this somewhat we call the perception of the benefit of all, I would actually choose to live in eternity, because I'm a teacher. I'm a future teacher, and it is also aligned with my duty, no? Deontology. It would be my duty to teach it would be my responsibility to teach, and as much as many learners as I could. But if I would be having the chance to perceive myself, I would rather choose to live a day with my special someone than to live eternity. Why? Why did I choose that? Because what is the essence of living forever if you don't have this joy in your heart? Even though you have the passion in your job, but again, no man is an island for me. And that's how I deal pressure, ma'am. I based it on theories. I based it on the concept that is available, and especially that is taught in my profession.
Okay, thank you so much, John. No, very informative. And one last question for you, John. If you will be hired, what would be your first 30, 60, 90 days look like in this role? So the first 3 months.
Okay. I do have this confidence that in the first 30 days of my my job, okay, job pala dito, no? I will be hired in the first 30 days, I think I would be spending those first 30 days to somehow observe those, shall we say, higher levels of individuals belong in our organization. In that way, I can do imitation. I think I think most of us reach this status today because of imitation, no? So I would be spending those rather than to show myself my worth. I would be spending those to actually observe and develop mine. And to the next 60 days, I would be spending those to apply those observed skills, knowledge, and concept. And to the 90 days and above, I would be actually developing a virtue in it out from the observed and applied knowledge and concepts.
Okay, wow. So very substantial yung answers ni John. No? Thank you so much, John. You did a good job. So yeah, good job on that one. Thank you. Let's have another let's have another volunteer. I think Nicole was raising her hand earlier. Tama ba? Nicole yata yung Nicole, I forgot her last name.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Ayun. Sige, Nicole, could you turn your camera on, please? Para makita ka na mo.
First, ma'am, I apologize for the noise.
It's okay. Ayun,
good morning.
There we go. All right. Hi, Nicole. Good morning. Could you introduce yourself, please, and from what course?
Hello, ma'am. Good morning. I am Cassandra Nicole Gayutin, and I am taking up Bachelor of Science in Criminology, and yeah.
Okay. Why criminology? Sige, go ahead.
Yeah. It's always been a dream for me to become a policewoman someday. So that's why I ended up taking this course.
Okay, sige, great. So Nicole, let's start. Your first question is, what people from other generations should understand from today's millennials? Let me repeat the question. What do you think people from other generations should understand from today's millennials?
Let me clarify your first. Oh my.
May dumadaan na truck. Feel ko. Ayun, okay lang yan, Nicole. Laban lang tayo. Padaan mo muna yan. Sige, when you're ready, Nicole. Sayang naman, parang ready na siya. Ayun. Okay.
You mean, ma'am, the generation before? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Pardon, ma'am. Again, the question po. Sorry. Distraction. Hello? Hello po.
Ayun. Ayun. Hey, there you go. Sorry. Can you hear me? Okay na?
Ano po? Putol-putol. Sorry. May signal po ata.
All right. Anyway, the question is, what do you think people from other generations should understand about today's millennials? So yung mga
Yep.
older generation, ano dapat yung maiintindihan nila about sa millennials this time, this generation?
Okay, ma'am. Well, I think the key is the communication. We need to understand each other, and for our parents, I think they really need to communicate to the children for them to understand, and for us children also, we need also to understand our parents. Then, but the end of the conversation, ma'am, it will always end up sa communication.
Okay. All right. Next question, Nicole. How do you measure success?
Well, for me, ma'am, success, I think I can consider myself as a successful one when I can clearly see that I am stable in my work, stable on helping my family, and being an inspiration and motivation to my younger generation.
Okay, and one last, Nicole. Sorry. What values do you appreciate the most in a work and team environment? One more time, Nicole. What values do you appreciate the most in a work and team environment?
Well, I think the integrity, ma'am.
Sorry?
Integrity.
Integrity. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because it's very important as individual to have an integrity, because it's always applicable in any areas of our life. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Nicole. I
Thank you,
think
ma'am.
we have a few more questions, siguro. Do we have volunteers? Nicole, you're okay. You're good to go. Thank you so much. Okay, Harold. Harold, could you turn on your cam, please? You're raising your hand. Sige, asa na to si Harold? Nawala siya. Nawala si Harold. Okay, let's have somebody else na lang. Okay, nawala si Harold. Jana J. Jana J. Diaz.
Okay, ma'am. Pwede na, ma'am.
Sino ito? Si Harold. Okay, Harold, where are you? I cannot see you. Ayun, there we go. I can see you now. Okay, hi Harold, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I am Harold Jansi Hampang. I took Bachelor of Science in Criminology. The reason I took the course is because I guess that's destiny. I don't really think there's a reason. I just one day at the enrollment section of University of Mindanao took criminology, and now I'm a fourth year student, and here we go.
Okay, I'm curious now what made you stay, kasi you started off na you didn't know why you chose it, but I wonder what made you stay. May specific reason ba, Harold, or you just enjoyed it?
not really specifically enjoyed it. It's just, how do I say it? I guess I don't have any any what call anything that I want. It's just I just want to move forward, and I guess th- this is how I end up.
Okay. All right. That's reasonable. So good. Harold, let's begin. Your first question is, how long would you handle it if your boss was wrong? Sorry, how would you handle it if your boss was wrong?
Um, for me, if my boss was wrong, how would I handle it? Uh, if it is a boss problem, I would never. If it is a corporate, I would never be able to do anything because it's a higher up decision, and if I can do something, I need to be in a place that I can leverage, that I can deal with, I can deal with him as a as an equal. But if if in a place where we're not equal, I guess I can't do anything. That's perspective I can show.
Okay. All right. Next question, Harold. Okay. That was the last question, actually. Sige, one last question lang before we end, Harold. Do you have any questions for me?
Uh, I guess, ma'am, given the experience, ma'am, what is the most stressful work that is given to you so far?
Oh wow. Actually, a lot of things are stressful, but I think in stress, no, and experiencing this stress, we allow ourselves to grow and we allow ourselves to experience something new so that in the future we will know how to deal with that stress. Okay, so thank you so much, Harold. I guess that is the end of our questions, not interview questions. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone who participated, yung mga nag-volunteer especially, no, I'm very happy that you took the challenge and you allowed yourself to have this experience kasi definitely next week you will be going through this individually pa rin naman. Okay, so thank you so much. Now, before we end this session, do you still have any questions that maybe Sir Ray can answer, or are we all good? Wala? Sige. If wala tayong questions, Sir Ray, do you have anything else that you would like to add po?
Okay na ako, Kate. Wala na.
Okay po, sir. Okay,
you.
thank you, sir. All right, sige. So, with that said, if we have no other questions, no, maybe we can end this session na lang with a few reminders in terms of your requirements. But hopefully before that, by the way, hopefully you're able to learn a thing or two, no, with the activity this morning. So, as you can see, sa mga nag-volunteer, you were able to, I guess, no, I hope you're able to see how they talk, the way that they conducted themselves, their gestures, their eye contact, the level of sorry, the way that they answered the questions, how they were able to address it if they were able to address it. So hopefully you will learn something from it. I think I saw somebody raising their hand. Sino yun? Somebody was raising their hand. May question yata. Meron ba? You can always send it in the chat box as well naman. So anyway, sige. So with that said, hopefully you're able to learn something. So now let's move forward with our requirements for the last part na for component C. So for your mock interview schedule, this will be held on May 11. That's a Wednesday next week. So the way this is going to work is like this. You will be given the opportunity to choose the type of mock interview that you're going to have. So you will have two options. Bisayaon na ko ha, kay para klaro atong instruction. Una, pwede mo mag-mock interview nga well, not really live, but kanang iani nga synchronous nga interview. So we will be using Zoom and then we are going to ask you
in real time the questions, and then you're going to answer as well in real time. So that will be via Zoom. That's your first option. Ikaduha, kung dili mo ganahan og ana nga type sa interview, pwede nga inyong option would be mag-record mo sa inyong self using TikTok. Okay? So, sa TikTok kami, mga coach ninyo, mag-upload niyo og question dito sa TikTok. Pangitao ninyo ang video namo nga sa among code. Tapos, imo siyang tubagon sa TikTok. Di ba pwede na nimo i-duet ang video sa TikTok? So, kana inyong buhaton, i-duet ninyo to siya and then i-answer ninyo ang question. So, recorded siya nga video instead of live nga magtubag sa question. Okay? Nasabtan to ninyo? Nagets ninyo yung options? Okay. Sige. So again, ulitin ko for those who cannot understand Bisaya, let's speak in English, no? Versatile tayo. Sige. Kapag English naman, first option, you choose the Zoom synchronous interview. So you're going to book a time slot with us, and that will be on May 11, anytime from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. So you will have a few questions. We will be asking you a few questions, and after that, you don't need to do na the other yung sa TikTok. So you choose one lang, either Zoom or TikTok. Okay. On the other hand, if you don't want the Zoom interview, you can do the TikTok interview, wherein you're going to find the latest video from your coach, and then you're going to duet that and answer that question then. Okay. On top of that, actually, if you choose the TikTok na option, since we won't be able to see you live, we're going to request 2 videos from you. The first TikTok video is of you answering the question. So you're going to duet that. And then another video that we're going to request from you is a video of you showing your interview attire. So, kailangan namin makita yung, for example, for the girls, kailangan namin makita kung paano ka nag-ayos sa face, yung hair mo. Tapos sa guys, you want to show off like the blazer or the top that you're wearing. The shoes, especially, we want to see that. If you have other accessories like your watch, we want to see that. So, yung sa second video ninyo sa TikTok, you have to show off your outfit. So, yung isa is outfit lang, yung isa is interview lang. Ma'am, during sa interview, ma'am, dapat po ba nakapag, naka-get up kami, naka-attire ba kami? Yes. So, you're going to treat the video as if you were having an actual interview. So, dapat nakabihis pa rin kayo. And the same thing for those who will choose the Zoom mock interview, you are still expected as well to wear the appropriate clothing. Excuse me, wait lang. You're expected to wear the appropriate clothing as well as if you were doing an actual interview. Okay? But don't worry, further instructions para mas klaro paghihapon siya will be posted on your LMS by your coach. Okay? May question yata. Yes. Anong yes? Caed? Bakit ka nag-yes? Okay. Sige. Next. Your culmination day. So your culmination day schedule will be on May 18. That's the Wednesday after. That will be from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. Isa lang yung schedule natin for this. So we won't have a morning session. We won't have an afternoon session. We won't have a morning session. Afternoon lang siya. 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. So of course, you still have to join this one because this is also part of your requirements for component C, no? So you have to attend the culmination. Para you will be able to give, I think there's also an essay, and you have to take the screenshots as your attendance part. So you have to join, again, the culmination day. But anyway, don't worry too much because you don't need to do anything during the culmination day. You just need to attend. Okay? Next, reminders. If you have any concerns, please make sure to message your coach on before mag-end ang term, para ma-address nato siya as soon as possible. May question, ma'am, the call is gone. It is considered absent katong wala na tawag. Katong wala gipang tawag, that's fine. But katong gitawag na ko nga wala ni tubag, kato sila ang absent. Okay? So kung natungnan kag tawag niyo, wala ka ni tubag, ala. That's your That's your responsibility na. But if you were not called and you're present here, that's fine. You should have taken screenshots throughout this discussion or this webinar kasi that's part of your requirement again for component C. Okay? Sige. Again, any lacking requirements definitely will be equivalent to a 7.2. So kung kahit isa lang yan na miss out ninyo, for example, itong mga natawag ko today, absent kayo, di ba? So, alam niyo na yung consequence ninyo. Okay? Sige. Do we have any questions so far or sabotable ba lahat ng instructions natin? Yes, Charlene, I think you're raising your hand.
Ma'am, clarification lang po about sa TikTok. If TikTok yung gagawin, dalawang video yung gagawin namin.
That's correct. That's right. So for the first video, we will be tawag nito. Meron kasing anong pangalan ng career development na account, Career Development sa TikTok. Sige lang, don't worry, we will be posting that link sa LMS natin na para alam niyo kung saan. So you're going to follow that. Tapos yung pinaka-recent na video ng coach mo, yun yung i-duet mo. Okay, Career Dev, sorry, yun yung account natin sa TikTok, no? And then, yung pinaka-recent, right now, meron videos doon, pero hindi yun yung tama na videos. Wala pa kami na-upload na bago. So you wait for the most recent one. It should have the code, class code, no? So yun yung gamitin nyo, kung saan yung class code nyo. Okay? Use that one, and then you record. And then the second video is, we're going to choose a particular song. Kami na yung mag-choose nun. Tapos, you're going to show, parang runway or something. Papakita niyo yung outfit nyo. Okay? Clear, Miss Charlene?
Yes po, thank you, ma'am.
All right. Joanne, I think you raised your hand.
Good morning, ma'am. Regarding sa culmination, ma'am, since it is scheduled in May 18, ma'am, right? So, unfortunately, ma'am, meron kaming exam sa major exam that time. So, since ang among schedule, ma'am, is May 16 to 18. So, is there any alternative, ma'am, nga way para makaano kami?
Okay, for this one, maybe we can talk about this. Sino ba yung coach mo? Ay, ako.
I guess, ma'am, ikaw.
Ako pala, sorry, na ako nakita yung code mo. Sige, you can just message me na lang after this one so that we can make the appropriate arrangements. And the same thing for the rest of you, na kung may ganun nga na schedule, then please reach out to your coach so then you can make the appropriate na arrangements or at least malaman nila yun. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you.
Okay. Question, Suzette. Na mo ipasa ang video, ma'am, if TikTok among pilion. Definitely it will be through your LMS. But further instructions, dito lang yung hapon ninyo makitaan. Okay. Any other questions? Clarifications? Wala. Okay, so, sige, if wala na tayo ibang questions, reminders again, you're going to need to submit your portfolio. So please make sure that you submit that one because that's going to be a portion na naman of your grade for component C. So make sure that you submit that one on time as well. Okay? Any questions, clarifications, or are we all good? Yes. Ha?
Kung nakasubmit na og cover letter and resume, ma'am, if kailangan pa ng revision, asa na mo siya itanawon po?
What do you mean, asa tanawon?
Like, di ba, anak ka, ma'am, na if ever nga, need og revision ng amo ang cover letter og resume, di ba, i-insert gyapon na mo siya sa amo ang portfolio. Paano na mo malaman, ma'am, if na ami revision or
okay. Pagka-return yan, when it has been graded, ako wala pa ako nag-grade, no? But when it has been graded, nakita man ninyo dito ang mga annotations sa LMS.
Okay po, thank you.
Okay. Any more questions or are we all good? We're all good? Sige, if we are all good, kung wala na tayong questions for the meantime, that will be it for this morning. But if you do have further questions, then just reach out to your coach and I'm sure they will be able to give you the answers to your questions. All right, so thank you so much again, everybody, especially sa mga nag-volunteer. Yes, someone has a question?
Thank you po.
Thank you. Okay, sige. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day and see you again next week.